The shifters of demand come in several forms and are responsible for the increases or decreases in the demand in a market. Understanding how demand reacts to shifters is a useful tool for understanding how a market functions and for predicting how a market will react to changes. The shifters of demand include prices of related goods, income, weather, number of buyers, tastes and preferences, and expectations of future prices.
When the price of a good or service changes, there's movement along a demand curve, but the demand curve itself does not shift. However, if the price of a related good changes, demand will shift. Related goods come in two forms, complements and substitutes.
The full value of a complement can only be realized when both items are purchased together. If the price of one item increases, the demand for the other will decrease.
The opposite is also true. If the price of a complement significantly decreases, the demand for an item will significantly increase.
With items that are substitutes, like two different types of peanut butter, when the price of one falls, the consumer will buy the cheaper one. This is called the substitution effect.
The income level of buyers in a market can also have a significant impact on the demand for a product. An increase in income doesn't always mean that the demand for a good will increase.
If your income increases and you buy less of an item, for example, Spam, then it is an inferior good.
If your income increases and you buy more of a product, like steak, then it is a normal good.
The differences between normal and inferior goods are also important for predicting which way demand will shift for different markets, given the same change in income.
Gotta have it. Another important shifter of demand is the weather. If it's the middle of the summer, not many people will be in the market for a snow shovel or a winter coat. In other words, if the weather is not favorable for consumption, then demand will decrease. This shifter of demand really shouldn't need an explanation, but we'll give one to you anyway. If the number of buyers in a market is small, demand will be low. If the number of buyers suddenly increases, demand will also increase. Gotta have it.
Wait, I want that. Give it to me. No. No. Yeah.
The opposite would be true for a decrease in number of buyers.
This would be nice to have at Moose Jaw.
The tastes and preferences of a population are constantly changing, and are therefore constantly shifting demand for a multitude of markets. The likelihood of a buyer purchasing a product is related to the utility, otherwise known as the benefit, enjoyment, or satisfaction, that they would receive from the product. For example, if a buyer has a shiny, beautiful dome, the utility they would receive from purchasing shampoo is very minimal.
Right here.
I don't need this.
On the contrary, if the buyer has a head covered in dead protein, the demand for shampoo would be much higher. The demand in the shampoo market therefore depends on the number of shiny dome versus dead protein covered head buyers. The final shifter of demand is centered on what the buyer thinks about the future. If a buyer were going to purchase a television, but they thought that the prices would be lower in a week, the buyer will wait to make the purchase. If the buyer expects lower prices in the future, present demand will decrease.
This typically is more noticeable in goods that are not necessities, because necessities will be bought despite the expected changes in price.
Step back. 90% of all rare earth metals are found in China. Step back. The largest movable object on Earth is an oil rig located in the North Sea. Step back. There are over 175,000 different items in a Walmart supercenter.